Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. It is Vlogmas month, and today is December 23rd. It is almost Christmas. Right now, what I'm doing, I should have had this up. I wasn't even thinking. I'm trying to set my TV to the fireplace so the sound is not distracting to any of you. I love YouTube. Love it. I guess I don't have it in my menu. There we go. We got her. No, we don't want music. Well, no. Copyright laws. We don't want that. They will really stop my video if I had put something, music on there that is not, yeah. Okay. The dogs love this. Let me show you what I'm talking about so you guys see it. The dogs love sitting in here, and I have the lights turned down and the Christmas trees are going, and I have this playing in the background, and the dogs just love it. I don't know what it is, but it soothes them, and that's okay with me. Anything to make the babies happy because they're the babies. I am just finishing up loading up the cooking video about how I made the homemade caramel corn for the to send overseas, and it just went out today. I just took it to the post office, and that I can't believe people, I mean, look at me mailing packages this 2 days, 3 days before. Well, no, today's what, the 22nd, so no, 23rd. It's about 2 days before Christmas. So yeah, it was crazy. So today's video, I'm almost done with this, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do every day? Because I have things organized that I have to make a video every single day, and I'm going, Vlogmas is going to be over, so I don't know what I'm going to do. And if you want more videos, if you want me to do a segment, I am going to do a segment on how how I brought down my my numbers for my ATL, for my fatty liver disease too. So what I'm being Vlogmas, we have been covering the Advent calendar that my mother had made back in 2005, and I have been sharing stories. I have been sharing experiences that I had others in my family, my friends, family. I just got done with my beautiful daughter. Are you running up here? Come here, baby girl. Oh, my Ginger. Yes, I love you too. So today, for being the 20, I know, Santa Claus came for you. I know. I don't know if you see her. Yes, Santa Claus came. I wrapped her presents. Yes. We had to make sure that the fur babies had their presents too. So with it being the 23rd of December, I actually only have 2 left to do. And today and tomorrow are very important individuals in my life. All of everybody is. Do not get me wrong. Everybody has left a huge impression on me. Are you giving Mama kisses? Giving Mama kisses? Yes, I love you. I love you. I love you too. Yes. So today is going to be, and it's sort of ironic for being the 23rd, is the reindeer. Let me see if you guys can see that. And I had put on social media, on Facebook, the list of people who I'm dedicating the different days to, and I had stated on today a surprise, and I knew who I was. Okay, I'm thinking Ginger grabbed it. I knew who I was going to be dedicating this to. And it's to the most remarkable woman who has been the hugest influence in my life. She is the one that has taught me to be calm, to love. And this video is dedicated to my grandma, Grandma Graham. Grandma Graham is the most remarkable, and I'm not exaggerating, remarkable woman I've ever met. Don't get me wrong, I've met many, many remarkable, but Grandma Graham has influenced me more than anything. And it's amazing what she has accomplished in her life. We lost Grandma when she was 100 years old. I think she was 100. She lived a good life. She lived a beautiful life. Grandma is the one that taught me how to knit. Grandma is the one that taught me how to love the yarn and like things like that. Grandma is the one that taught me to not to hold a grudge, believe it or not. Grandma taught me how to forgive. Grandma has taught me, she is the most spiritual woman. And I remember growing, when she lived with my mother and us when I was younger and into my teenage years, you know, I was so blessed to have that grandparent around and living in the same household, because you had so many different generations in that house. You had my grandmother, then you had my mother, and then you had me, and then you had my brother, and my brother and I are 5 years apart. And it was just, there's so much difference, and she was pretty hip for herself. She knew, she was quick, she was a smart lady. Smart lady. She got a degree in college. She had hiked up Mount Hood. She had raised 2 beautiful children, my mother and my uncle, Uncle Phil. And you're just, you don't want me to cry. You don't like mommy crying, do you? No. The reason why I picked Grandma for the reindeer is that as growing up, you've always heard Santa Claus and his sleigh and the 8 tiny reindeer. And Santa Claus couldn't have been able to drive that sleigh unless he had those reindeer. And those reindeer needed, they were on top of it. They knew where to guide Santa Claus from house to house, to country, to deliver all of the beautiful presents to the boys and girls. To me, what Grandma had done for me, she had driven me down a path of being very, very spiritual, very faithful. I remember going to church, and she always loved being very close to the altar. Very close. I mean, like in the second or third row. I remember her always reading or saying her prayers for the rosary. I remember her always reading scripture. Always reading scripture. Grandma never cussed. Grandma was a lady. She was a classy lady. She knew, she never lost touch of what was popular as fashion, if that makes sense. She always kept her hair very, very beautifully. She's always kept her nails very beautifully. She knew how to present herself. And it taught me a lot. And one thing it taught me is to take care of myself within my mind, my body, my spirit, and I remember when my father passed away. And I had asked her if I can come stay with her that evening after he had passed. And she said, yes, come over. She was living in an assisted living there in Omaha. And at the time, I think my mother was on the East Coast. And she wanted to be close to Grandpa. Grandpa was there. He had already passed. And so when I walked in the door, she knew. She knew what to say, how to say it, and what not to say, if that makes sense. As I sat down, I was sort of angry and a little bitter on some situations that had occurred. And she looked at me and she says, do not ever allow anything negative attack you. She got up, she went into her room, and she came back and she walked over to me and she said, open your hand. And I held my hand open. And she had handed me a rosary. And I have that rosary today, and ray holds onto it. I don't know if you ever knows that story. I've had that rosary with me when I had gone, as you heard in Vlogmas 6, the angel, in Vlogmas 3, with my father, or the bell, when I was shaking the bell and going. I had that rosary when I was being attacked spiritually. And I was questioning, and she always said to me, never ever question. He will not lead you down the wrong path. As Grandma would never lead me down the wrong path. She's a leader. She is my guardian. She's my angel that watches over me. I have a lot of angels that watch over me. I miss her. I wished I called her more on the phone. I have every card that she's mailed me, every letter she typed and she signed. I have every one of them. But as growing up, sometimes we become very selfish and we forget to make that phone call or write the letter to thank. I wish she was here today. I cannot be selfish. She's lived a beautiful life. She's made the difference in so many people. And what she's taught me, I'm paying it forward. So I ask from you, it's almost Christmas. We're almost at the end of the year. And it's sort of exciting, sort of scary. It's almost like you're able to start all over again. You're able to start a new journey. You're able to start a new blank. And that's okay. That's one thing Grandma always said to me. You might have fallen, But that doesn't mean that you stop. That just means you can get back up and try again. So when I always end my videos, I always say, you know, you be good to yourself, be good to others, and for we do not know what part of their journey they're on. That is something that I think about every single day with everybody I interact with. Everybody. Today I had gone out and got a couple of items, and the lady that was cashing me out, you could tell she was brand new, you could tell she was seasonal, you can tell she was just fried, you can tell she just wanted to, she's having a rough day. And I understand, I've been there many of times, and I always want their experience to know is that you do matter. I appreciate you doing what you're doing, and thank you. By the time she was done with the transaction, she was smiling, and she said Merry Christmas, and you know, the person across from me was smiling too. You know, they saw the interaction. I think they saw her body language too. And that individual had held the door open for me. And I had said, thank you so very much and Merry Christmas. And this person said, you are so beautiful. You light up the room. And the first person that came to my mind was Grandma. Believe it or not. And I'm thinking, yeah, she's taught me. Grandma has taught me. And I listened. And yes, I have fallen. And yes, I've gotten up. And yes, I make mistakes. But that's the only way I can learn. And I am only human. And so are you. 2019 is right there. You can just touch it. Make it your year. Make 2019 your year. Make it beautiful. And what I mean by that, you please fill your cup and don't feel guilty for doing that. Take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to come out as in blah. Maybe that person needs to see you're smiling because you don't know what's happening in their life. Tomorrow will be the last of the Advent calendar. And it's going to be a special one. Yes. So if you want to join me on this journey in 2019, leave a comment. We can be a buddy system. We can work together. I'll be there to support you. That is what we're here. We are here as a team. We're here to empower. We're here to validate. We're here to uplift. And that is the 3 keys I live by every single day. I thank you for giving me the time this month. I thank you for spending your 20 minutes a day and listening to me. That, I hope it's helped. I hope, I pray it's putting some kind of fire in you. I really do. So tomorrow, we have a special one tomorrow, don't we? They're all special, aren't they? Every one of them are special. Yes. Grandma, I love you. I miss you. but I know you're always with me because I feel you. And thank you for everything. So everybody, have a beautiful evening. Come back tomorrow. It's going to be December 24th, Christmas Eve. And be good to yourself. Be good to others. For we do not know what part of their journey they're on. I love you. And Ginger's about to fall asleep. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes. Bye-bye, guys. Yes, I love you too. Bye-bye.